So what is up, guys and girls? If you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. What we are doing here is we are shining a spotlight on the community, and we are on episode 5. On today's episode, we're twisting things up a little bit. How is that? Today I'm not introducing a guy. I'll be introducing a female rider. All right. So, with these e-bike community spotlights, I like to introduce people that have made an impact in the community. We started out with Mike. Mike is a young kid who's come a long way and put a huge group together. And that group is S3. All right, so from Mike, we went to my boy Richie. Richie has been a huge asset to this community. Oh my God, countless contributions he has made to picking people up that are stranded, to help in traveling, putting together these huge barbecues. From Richie, we went to my brother, Braveheart. Braveheart is in a league all his own. Probably one of the biggest hearts that I've seen. Always going out on a limb to help out a member. All right, so from my boy Braveheart, we jumped into Mac Mittens. Super talented, an artist putting his craft onto e-bikes. So today we'll be shining a spotlight on one of our female community members. Not gonna dive too much into why, because she'll do a better job of explaining that herself. But what we will say is that she is a leader. She's also an artist, and she's coming out strong, putting together a group of female riders. So before I go on any further, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to episode 5 of the e-bike community spotlight.
Hey, what's up? My name is Jennifer Arroyo, aka your homegirl Jen City on Instagram. You can see me at jencity.com. I'm also the founder of She Wolves NYC, a female collective of PEV riders. Let's go. So you might be wondering how somebody donned in such leather. I'm just kidding. But so how I got involved in the e-bike community really it's a long story, to be fair, because I always like to tell people I like bike. Like, I love all things bike, whether it's a pedal bike, which I lovingly call an analog bike now, or if it's mini motos, I love Honda Groms, I love all things mini moto. And or when I was just a little girl with my little Mickey Mouse hat on with the little ears, and I'm riding my big wheel around, and you could ask my family, I would tear through those probably like on a couple months basis. I know I'm dating myself, but man, when I was a kid, I loved tearing through the neighborhood on my big wheel and just bikes from there. Got into BMX. And then my cousin Chris, may he rest in power, he was a professional BMX rider down in Puerto Rico. So I had always been around bikes. I just love bikes. So hit the fast forward button, and I don't know, a global pandemic may have happened that we've all been impacted with. And we're actually right before the pandemic, I live here in New York City, and so New York City has all these really odd laws, and they had just recently passed a law about making e-bikes legal now. That was intriguing, and from there I was like, started researching out different e-bikes. And of course, in the research, certain companies were targeting the hell out of me, whether it was on IG or on Facebook. So I'm starting to see different options from different companies, and this is literally right before the pandemic. This might have been December, heading into January, February, and then of course in March 2020, everything went to shit, for lack of a better description. But I started researching out different companies, and I was thinking like, hey, if I got an e-bike, there was a couple things. Where I lived at the time, I did have an elevator, so I was very grateful. It would be easy for me to get the bike in and out, but how about if the elevator was down? How would I get it in and out of my apartment at the time? There was a lot of different things I was considering, and of course speed, and of course the length of the rides that I would typically go on. I was working within New York City in Soho at the time, so it was very much like, hey, I could use this as a commuter and not have to be on the MTA at all. I mean, for those who aren't familiar with New York City and our subway system, our MTA system, it could be rough around the edges at times, and from where I live in Brooklyn to Soho, sometimes would be an hour and a half to 2 hours. I was like, forget this is taking too long. So I started researching it out for that, and I had never thought it would lead me to how things have blossomed for today. I was just thinking, all right, cool. I travel a lot, and when I am home, I'm in the city, I want to get to where I'm going quickly without any real bother. And I was checking out some different options, and the Super 73 really jumped out at me at the time. It seemed to go at the right speed for what I needed, it had the right range of what I needed. And hey, honestly, aesthetically, it looks pretty badass. So I was like, you know what, let me check this out. After a lot of research, placed the order, was ecstatic, and due to the global pandemic, it took months and months and months and months to show up. But I had been checking out other e-bikes, riding friends of mine, other e-bikes, but it was a Super 73 that I was really like, cool, this is what I'm going to invest some time and money into. And it really played out well. So I first initially got the S2, absolutely, the bike showed up, absolutely fell in love with it, love the bike, still have it to this day. It's about to go to a new home within the community, so I'm excited about that. But when I got the S2 and was really riding, I was like, damn, these are some bumpy ass fucking rides around here in New York City, and I should know that. But you know, new seat really helps out in that capacity. But started with the S2, then I was like, hey, I was all about, you know, Super 73, so far so good, at least that had been my experience. And then I decided to get the RX, which has the dual suspension. Game changer, love her, one of my favorite bikes beyond the Onyx RCR that's over here to my left and to your right on the screen. But that's how everything started. And then a really nice fallout. I shouldn't describe it as a fallout because it's really been a complete blessing. So let's term it for really what it is. Was the community that surrounds this. So I was out riding. I had typically just been riding, you know, by myself, or, you know, I have a network of friends who ride analog bikes, if you will, that I would ride with and do group rides with, like to and from Coney or wherever. And, you know, they were able to keep up with me if I kept it low and slow, so I would ride with them. But a lot of the times I rode around by myself. I call it wind therapy. It's just, I have a exciting, pretty robust life, and am responsible for a lot of different things. But when I got on the bike, somehow that had just all melted away. And it was like I was able to really focus on something that wasn't these, you know, 12 other things for me to be concerned about and be focused on. Or it would help me focus on possibly really big decisions. I work with different companies when it comes from a business development aspect and all things sales and marketing, and it's being able to focus on that. I'm a musician. I have been in the music industry for over 20 years. I was in a band called Kitty. That was the very first all-female metal band to ever go platinum. Now, this is back when record sales mattered, so, you know, this is a minute ago. But a majority of my life, I've been in a tour bus or been in a van and just been traveling not only the country, but traveling the world. So I made some decisions in my life to start being home a bit more. I still write to this day. I do ghost writing. I still do touring with different bands. I played the last Warped Tour. That was in Atlantic City. Several thousands of people showed up. It was absolutely insane and incredible. And, you know, music's my everything. I literally have that tattooed here on my neck. So it's the blood that pumps through my body and it goes through the heart and continues to pump through the body. But getting more so into electric bikes was slowly becoming really important, and just I felt really passionate about it. And so I started learning as much as I can about it. Simple maintenance that you could do on your own. And then one fateful day, I ran into one Mr. Booby BK out on the streets, and he waved me down, and I was like, oh my God. And there he was in his Rhino Gray RX. I had never at that point seen another person on a Super 73. And I was like, what's up? What's up? He's like, what's good? What's good? And he's like, you know, there's a group of us that ride around. And I was like, of course there's a group that rides around. Why wouldn't I think that? And why wouldn't I search that out? I was so used to being a lone wolf, just going out and just, you know, riding and like thinking and riding. And there is no better way to experience New York City than being on one of these bikes. I promise you that. If you are on the fence right now of getting, whether it's an electric bike or you want to get a uni or you want to get a scooter or anything along those lines, anything electric, so you can move yourself around more efficiently and effectively, I cannot recommend something like what's behind me enough. It's worth absolutely every penny. You cannot put a price on the experience that you'll have and the people that you'll meet within the community. So going back to Booby BK, we meet, we instantaneously connect. He's an absolutely great guy. Look him up. He's the founder of Gotham E-Bike, so shout out to them. And everything really blossomed from there. I was starting to go out on their different rides. We were, at the time, it wasn't even Gotham. This is how early on it was. It wasn't even Gotham. I think it was like Super 73 NYC. It was the name of the group was something different, and then it evolved into the Gotham E-Bike group. But I digress. I started meeting a bunch of other people who felt the same way. They were really passionate about these bikes, and they were really talented people. I was meeting, you know, professional photographers, professional videographers. I was meeting other fellow musicians. I was meeting other people who are passionate about businesses, other entrepreneurs. I was meeting people, really talented artists when it comes to graphic design, illustrations. I was like, damn, there's a lot of people who are absolutely incredibly talented at what they do. And beyond that, really, really good people. People who actually respect others and have good morals. And it was just such a beautiful surprise to get that, because for me, the intent was, it was a commuter, to have fun, to be sure that I'm in meetings a lot. Talking is my business, I like to say. And or I'm in the studio for hours. And typically in the studios, I'm typically in, there's no windows. You're not outside, you know what I mean? You're sitting behind a few screens, and you might be listening to a snare drum over and over and over and over again. You need a timeout, baby. You need to get outside, right? So I got it because of that, just to be sure. It's getting outside, getting good exercise, meeting, well, I'm very social, so I shouldn't say meeting other people. I think that was naturally going to happen, but like just being outside and just get off of a seat and get into a different type of seat and just go. And so that's been one thing. I didn't bank on that. I just didn't even think about that. And so when I started riding with different groups and meeting up with Booby and everyone else, that was one really, really incredible thing that I had never thought about it. And it's interesting too, because when I chat with other people now, it's like, yeah, I got part of the reason that they get the bikes is to get into the community. And it's just such a beautiful thing. So like I said, if you're on the fence about it right now, I can't do it. Fucking do it. Do it. You got to do it. You might find something you become deeply, deeply passionate about. And if you happen to buy a Sur-Ron or an Onyx or a juice bike or whatever it is, I always tell people, find out how you like to ride or how you think you might want to ride first, and then maybe your next riding season, you buy a bad boy like this, or upgrade your bike, or get in the big battery club, or whatever the vibe is. But that's really the background. And this year, I mean, the idea for She Wolves started really last year. I had started meeting other female riders when I either been out by myself or I've been riding in groups, and you randomly see someone, on a Super 73 or whatever, and you're like, oh, hey, cool. But especially this riding season, and hey, it's October 2022 right now when this is being filmed, I started seeing other female riders, and in the beginning, I should say really in spring, more often from everywhere, not only based here in New York City Central, I should say, but out in Staten Island, out in Long Island, all of that good stuff. And I was like, I was talking to my homegirl Mish, shout out to her, and I said, I'm really thinking about starting an all-female riding crew. I think it'd be really cool because there's something so unique about that, in the sense of like having all women ride together is dope. And it also, it shows an empowerment, right? And it shows that, hey, we're here, we're absolutely part of the community, we are just as passionate about these bikes as you are. And when I say bikes, please forgive me, I'm just gonna say PEV because it's everyone, whether it's a uni, a scooter, all of that. Anything electric, this is what we're talking about here today. And representation does matter, okay? It's a powerful thing. When somebody is thinking about getting one of these, or maybe has never seen one of these in their life, and we ride past them, and maybe it's a small group of us, or maybe it's just you, and they see you outside doing that, they're like, I want to do that. What is that? That looks like so much fun. I want to check that out. What is that? And so I thought, hey, if more people saw us riding together, and this is extremely helpful for those who want to get into all things electric, right? Whether they want a uni scooter or they decide the bike life is for them, then at least it's a group that's really empowering in the sense of, hey, go get your bike, or we'll even meet you. I have met she-wolves who did not have bikes that reached out to me, that were checking out my stories and that were checking things out, and they were like, all right, cool. I'm really interested in something like this, and I want to talk to somebody about it. And I feel, I see another female, other females want to talk to other females about things that they love, whether it's makeup or clothes or anything along their music. We bullshit, we all talk, you know what I'm saying? So long story short, I thought it was really perfect timing to start putting together a collective of female riders that are outside, they're passionate about all things electric, and we could all learn from each other. And beyond that, have it be like a really inviting community as well, to where it's like we can really get our footing within the community itself and be like, hey, we're here, we ride with everyone, we support others' rides, we support other people within the community. It's not just like, hey, it's just this lady, piss off. It's nothing like that. It's like, hey, yeah, let's all ride together, let's share knowledge. And it's been really exciting. We this year, well, this past summer riding season, I should say, we did one big group ride along with our brothers and sisters in S3.
The She-Wolves and S3 for an amazing group ride. Today, we are going to be interviewing the one, the only, the amazing Jen City from the She-Wolves, and we're going to find out why the She-Wolves are here and how they are going to take over New York City. Do you have any idea how many people you expect to show up today?
I hadn't even really thought about it. In all honesty, it was just all about getting this together, putting out really good vibes. If 5 bikes showed up, I was going to be really happy, but yes. You could take a look around, and we probably have about 20 bikes plus here already, and it's not even time yet.
Oh yeah.
So it should be a really, really good time for sure.
Yeah.
It was a wild ass ride where everything could happen. I didn't expect over 50 people to show up. It was dope. The group got broken up a bit. It was a wild ride, but everybody mostly stayed together, which was killer. No one got hurt. Too bad. No, I'm kidding. No one got hurt. No one got hurt. I'm playing. And Industry City did support us in coming here and being able to charge, because we did have a lot of people come from the Bronx and other places, and we were able to help support them to where we met at Pier 17, rode down here to Industry City. I made the ride a little longer, so we went through a little bit of North Brooklyn and came down through here, and it was killer. But going back to the She-Wolves, its representation is everything. We are able to help provide empowerment for anyone who is really passionate about getting on anything electric. We're a really great foundation to help start from. We do initiation, we do smaller rides with you first to get you comfortable to a group ride, and or you know, hey, if you're already comfortable in big group rides, let's go freaking rip it. If you want to tear down First Ave as fast as you can, holler at me, I'm your girl. Holler at us, we're your girls, for sure. So, but it's really important to see where different riders that come and interested in being part of She-Wolves, where they're at, and make sure that they feel comfortable. And it's a great environment. I mean, to be fair, sometimes it can be really intimidating to go on large group rides, a bunch of guys you don't know. There can be safety concerns as well. So we're a nice spot to land, to where you could slowly meet other members of the community and go slow and build these relationships. I've had the pleasure of riding with this community for, you know, over 3 years really now. And then finally getting my own bike and then going out on these rides. And I've met some people I absolutely consider my brothers, sisters, and people that I would drop anything for in the moment if they reached out. And I'll be like, where are you at? I got you. Don't sweat it. And 3 years ago, listen, 3 years ago, I would have been like, what? I'm going to be really passionate about this, and and all of these amazing people are somehow going to pop into my life. I would have been like, what? And it's happened, and it's true, and I'm beyond grateful, man. If you're watching this and watching me ramble on, if there's any takeaway to have, is the gratefulness out of the heart, to where I've been able to meet some really great people that we ride or die, baby, to the end of time, and you know who you are watching this. All right, so listen, it's winter, okay? We are officially, well, no, technically it's fall, but we're heading into winter, and you know it's gonna be cold as beep outside, right? So there's a couple of tips that I have, because I ride all season long. So what you're really gonna wanna have, heated socks, baby. Find them on Amazon. Maybe I'll give Mr. E the little Link ski to use. The ones that I use, they're battery operated. There's ones that you just charge with the USB as well. They're incredible. I cannot recommend them enough. I recommend glove liners as well, heated glove liners, to where you just boom, the battery packs tend to be right here. Oh my God, they're complete game changers. And the heated vest. If anything that you get, you should get the heated vest. And a little pro tip that I've learned, like we got bodegas here in New York City, and you could go into any of these bodegas and buy any of this shit, but those little hand warmers, like you just kind of, it's one of those packages, it's like got orange and black on them or something like that. I don't know the official name, I'm not sponsored, so whatever. But you find them at the bodega and you twist them or whatever, heat them up and put them within your gloves, game changers, put them inside your shoes. Put them inside your shoes. Keep your little toesies warm. Stay warm, and get some riding gear if you can afford it, or layer. Layers are a thing, ladies and gentlemen. I know the bikes look badass, and you can still look badass too by layering up your clothes. Unique Glow offers some really great options, whether it's turtleneck. They have some. I can't recommend their brand enough. That's what I wear. I do the heated socks, the gloves. The vest is a game changer for sure. I'm Puerto Rican. I don't like being cold, all right? So hopefully that could be helpful to you. And if you don't feel comfortable riding during the winter, then don't. Now you get to plan what spring and summer and fall looks like to you. So no pressure, just have fun. But if you want to have fun during the winter time, just be careful, because your homegirl gives a shit about you. Okay, now we went through all of our fall winter gear, so we're good there. Now, what can you expect from She-Wolves and Gen City for the winter and fall and heading into the riding season? I'm going to be in the studio this this fall and winter. So I'm trying to get my next album out. It's going to be called Lion Country, and it'll be out in 2023, most likely summer to fall of 2023. I'll probably be dropping a single or two starting next year, probably Q1 of next year. So hang tight for that. For all things music, I was the bassist of Kitty for many years. I have my own solo project called Gen City. I work with other bands, Shiva Girl, shout out to her, and shout out to Gritty in Pink, which is an all-female platform for all musicians. Check it out, Gritty in Pink, look them up. I've been proudly working with them for several years now, so that's really, really cool. But yeah, I'm going to be working on music, but I'm going to be outside. So you can find me on my IG, JENNCITY. You can also find me on JenCity.com. That's JENNCITY.com. You can find my music there. You can hit me up there. There's a contact form. Come and find me. You can also find She Wolves on IG, she_wolves_NYC. And we'll hit you back. We hit you back, and we post our rides there as well. For next riding season, we got some special things up our sleeves. So you can expect definitely some group rides with the other incredible groups within the community. You can maybe expect like a really cool show we might be putting together for next riding season. We'll absolutely let you know. It will be something really unique and fun to do. But in the meantime, you're watching this. Thank you so much for your time. Big shout out to Mr. E for taking his time, meeting me here at Industry City. And we're going to go ride now and go have a great time. And you should do the same thing too. And follow She Wolves for clear skin and no flats. I'm your homegirl, Jen City. I'm always rooting for you. Peace.
So there you have it. So not only are the guys holding it down within this community, but the ladies are holding their own. And I've got so many other riders that I want to introduce you to. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please don't hesitate. Smash that like button. Leave a comment. I get back to everybody. And if you want, please subscribe. So until the next episode, peace out, everybody. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not spiking.
Okay, awesome. How I got into the e-bike community, let me, time out, we'll do it again, yeah. Here's where you cut, Johnny. Hopefully there's a bloopers part, because like, that should be in the bloopers. Cool.
I love it.